What's up, mortals? Alex here. This time, it's not a deck profile that I'm bringing you, even though it looks like one, but it's not. As you can see by the title, I will be showing people how I side deck with the deck, just because a few of them told me that they have been struggling with the side decking. And I can understand that because the first few times that I play the deck, I had the same issue myself. I did not know what to take in and what to bring in. So this video, I will be showing you how to go about side decking. Just because the deck is actually very fragile, you can't really be siding a lot of cards just because you will mess the synergy of the cards. So I will go through my latest list so you can see it, and then we'll get to the side decking. As you can see, I am playing 3 beckons again, and that is mainly due to the rank 4 pull. We now have access to Baguska, and I decided to fit a Dweller in my extra deck, so I decided to play 4 beckons, and he is one of the key cards that I side out every game. Still 3 Chosens, 2. I am doing 2 Exodius now. I figure the one's correct, but I want to be able to see it in my opening hand. If I open Exodius and Venus, is a really cool play, which I'm aware you guys know of. Still 2 Guards Dragon, 1 Lazuli, the Maxi hand traps. I decided to do the Ogres in the main deck instead of the side deck now, because we're moving into Spiral format, and having access to the Ghost Ogres in the opening hand is actually very crucial. I am doing Unexpected Die now and Pot of Desires. The reason behind Pot of Desires is that if we can get a lot of the combo off an opening hand or early in the game, we can hold Desires until we have gone the Shine Balls and we have resolved Brilliant out. Once that happens, we can dig for more resources that will let us keep in the game if we don't manage to OTK them. And Unexpected Die is just I would need it in an extender or a starter in my hands, and I figure that Chalice at 1, and there are no other cards that I'd rather play than Unexpected Die, just because it lets me put a Imduck on field without normal summoning. So summoning Imduck without normal summoning, it's really huge, just because we still have two normal summons at that point. So 1 of each, and that's it for the main deck. And for the side deck, this is what I have so far. It's not the best, but as the format develops itself, I will be doing some changes. Mistaken Arrest is just for going, I guess it's good for going first or second, but it's mainly for going first. You try to set up a board and Mistaken Arrest the Spiral player, so they can't really do much. You don't really need to search besides your opening play when you're doing the. I guess actually nothing in the deck searches except for Lee, but you want to stun them for the turn and be able to kill them in the following, which is really good. 3 board wipes. I consider Mind Control a board wipe since you can take their Firewall Dragon and deal with the Sleeper in other ways. So I decided to side deck all 3. The third Twin Twister, as always, might be coming out soon. I am doing 1 Imperial Order that will anti-spell fragrance, and now I am doing 2 Solemn Strikes in the side deck, just for going first. Going first, you want to set up a decent board, and if you have a strike for a Pendulum Summon and or a Double Helix that's coming out, you should be able to handle the matchup fairly well. Okay, Let's start the side decking. So, like I said, you don't want to be side decking any of the key pieces, combo pieces of the deck. So there are a lot of cards that you can side deck, cards that you do not need in the deck. So cards like Exodius is not needed in the deck, but you still want to keep the 1. Beckon is another card that you can easily take out. So that's 2. Uh, Depending on the who's going first or second, if you're going first, you might want to set out a max C, 2 ogres, and at least 1 ash if you're going second. So that's a lot of cards we're taking out, mainly because we don't need to draw these hand traps going first. They don't really do anything. You want to be bringing out trap cards like strike. You want to bring strikes, this anti-spell, and or Imperial Order. I'm sorry. You also have these for going first and or second. So as of right now, we have 6 cards to side out. If we're going first again, you don't really need the Twin Twisters. So you can, I would highly recommend keeping at least 1, just in case your opponent opens mediocre and they set spells and traps. You can like surprise them with the 1 lone Twin Twister. So that's let's see, that's 7 cards so far for our 3, 2, 5, 7. So that's pretty good. That's a way that you can side deck, depending if you're going first or second. Remember that you don't have to bring all of these side deck, all these 7 cards in, just because that would honestly mess with the consistency of the deck. Just because the beacon itself and the Exodius are gigantic combo pieces. Like I stated earlier, the beacon is mainly a 3 for the rank 4 Dweller and or Baguska that you might be playing. But all the hand traps and the Twin Twister are easily cuttable for going first. If you're going second, you definitely want to keep all the hand traps and the Twin Twister, but you still want to set out 1 beacon and 1 Exodius. Just because the Exodius, again, is not that important, but you still want to keep 1 in the main deck just to have that play. I also see myself siding out the unexpected die going first at times. This is one of those wild cards that you can side in and out like at will. It just depends on the matchup. If you need to bring more cards, you do it. Especially going second, there are so many cards that you need. So siding out for going first is actually really easy. So let's go back to the main deck how it was, and I will teach you how to side going second. For going second, it's actually much more difficult to side deck than going first, just because the deck's already ready. It's already been made to go second, but there's still a lot of cards that you can side out. Again, you do not need both Exodius, so 2 Exodius are coming out. Okay, before I continue, depending on what the matchup is, you're going to want to bring some Kaijus. Maybe you're going to bring 2, Saphion and or the Board Breakers. An extra Twin Twister might not be terrible. So we have about 8 cards that we could side deck for going second. So of course you're not going to bring all 7 of them. You're going to bring a mixture of all 8. You want at least 4 to 5. You don't want to go higher than that, just because you're going to mess with the consistency of the deck. So again, let's go. But what can take out? You can definitely take out 1 beacon again, going second. Even though he has better stats than Chosen, but Chosen is summonable through E-Tele, which is still really good. I guess you can say, oh, unexpected die. Chosen can be summoned through unexpected die, and Chosen and a beacon is better than Chosen at that. But whenever you can draw the unexpected die later in the turn and have it dead because you already have a setup board, and unexpected die sucks. Then at that point you can just set it and use it as an Ingrisu fodder, or you can just keep it in hand if your opponent happens to break the board. You can activate it then, or we can take it out because we don't really need it. So sort of like an enabler, an extender that we don't really need. So that's 3 cards out. Depending if the matchup gets hurt by Ogre, we keep it. If not, we take it out. If it's like Spirals, let's say that everyone's worried about Spirals, so you might want to keep both Ogres. you're definitely going to keep all three Ash. Against that matchup, I definitely would take out one of the Twin Twisters because they don't really set anything except for the one Wind Blast trap card. So that's four cards out. A lot of the times I see myself siding out one Guard Dragon, but I don't think that's correct anymore. Just because if you manage to deal with the sleeper with the Guard Dragon, if it's not equipped again, if the sleeper's not equipped with Blast Resort, you can like blast it with this and win the game from there. Just because he will destroy the sleeper and the sleeper will destroy everything else. So it's pretty good. I actually started to keep those. So let's see anything else that we can side out. I definitely want to keep the Venuses and the Shine Balls. Okay, so that's it. We have 4 cards coming out. So we go in and bring our board wipes. You bring the Dark Hole, the Mind Control, and the Raigeki for going second. And actually, I am missing one card. Yes, I am, in fact. You can bring the Gamma Seal in. And if you want to have 2 Gamma Seals, you can take out the Pot of Desires that I am playing. And I already stated earlier, if you don't remember and you don't want to go back in the video, I said that we usually get all the combo pieces out of the deck. And then we Desires for more combo pieces and or side deck cards. So you can either take it in or take it out. A lot of people tell me, oh, that's ridiculous that you're only playing the one. But the deck already draws a lot and digs through a lot. So you don't really need multiples of this. Plus drawing 2 of this, it's just the worst thing ever. So just the one. And if you're going second, I would highly recommend keeping it in just because it can help you dig for things. But if not, you can take it out and you can like do whatever. Like you can side deck anything else. You can side it a Chosen and or the E-Telly. I would probably keep the E-Telly and side out a Chosen and bring the second Gamma Seal in. And now you have about 4 to 5 board breakers. And you should be able to draw any of your extenders, 3 Gofus like Venus and or the Brilliant Fusion. So that's it how I would side for going second against most decks. I would bring in the Gamma Seal, the Raigeki, like I said, the Mind Control, the Dark Hole, the Twin Twister. I mean, the other Gamma Seal, I'm sorry. So that's how it would look post side deck. Game 2 going and 3 is going second against most decks. There are a lot of decks that you don't really need to side deck heavily. You can just side deck a few cards just to basically, like if you're playing against like ABC, you might want to bring in the Gamma Seals, the extra Twin Twister just because they set a lot of strikes. You definitely want to keep the hand traps against ABC and or Magicians just because you can hit the Pendulum Call, you can hit the Time and or Star Pendulum Graph, and you can also hit the Magicians when they activate. So it's pretty good against a lot of the matchups. Like I stated, the deck is ready, made to go second, so it's still very powerful at that. I wish I could go more into detail on other matchups, how I side deck, but it's fairly simple after you do it a few times, just because you understand what the roles of every card in the deck are. And especially the vanillas are very, very important to the deck. You do not want to take them all out, but you don't want to keep them all in just because they might brick you. And I've had a lot of games where I have opened 5 vanillas. In hindsight, it's not terrible, but it's not the best. So you definitely want to keep a good ratio of them in the deck. I highly recommend side decking, making a list of what in your phone or anywhere, like a notepad. Keep a list of cards that you might want to bring in against certain matchups. I'm not telling you copy my deck list card for card, but it's been working out for me. I haven't had any issues. I do work on it like every now and then. I'm sorry. I work on it now and then. And it's been working out. No complaints. The side deck is not perfect, but as the meta evolves and develops itself, it will be changing. Anyways, going back to side decking, you definitely want to keep a list and practice what you side in and out, just because it's very important. Again, after a few tries, it'll be easy. It'll just come natural. You'll know what to take in and out, because you don't really need a lot of the cards in the deck, but we still want to play those cards that I am playing in my list. Hopefully this has helped you. A lot of people kept asking me about side decking, and I wasn't able to, just because I didn't really have the time to. But with the upcoming meta, it's actually going to be very crucial to know how to side deck against a lot of the decks. Mainly Spirals will be very dominant, and if Spirals are too dominant, then I guess we won't have to side deck. We won't have to like have all this in the side deck. We can definitely bring them in and fit them in some way, just because the Spiral deck is actually really good. So I will be testing more against that deck and bring you a report, I guess, a updated deck list. But as of right now, this is what I've been toying around with. Try it out. Let me know how it works for you. And again, as always, if you guys have any questions, post them down below, and I will respond as soon as possible and as best of my abilities. I know at times I don't respond as well as I could or as I should, but you guys gotta understand that time is an issue. And again, hopefully you enjoy this. Comment down below what you thought. I'll check my channel for more videos. Stay tuned. Thank you. Peace.